Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. So some time back I actually did a video on how you can make some more emotional little baby type of stuff. So today I actually wanted to do something similar to that one, but since you guys keep asking for some more guitar stuff, so therefore I wanted to do a video on how you can make this catchy guitar type of sound that you would usually hear from somebody like Gunna, Young Thug, and Lil Baby. Super slimy and catchy guitar patterns with like flutes, vocals, and everything. So we're gonna be making the whole sample from scratch, and then I'll actually also show you guys how you can make this crazy and hard-hitting drum bounce. So let's not waste any more time and let's just get straight to it. Alright, so now we're in FL21. So we need to start off with the guitar pattern, and I'm gonna pick up my favorite guitar in Contact. It's this pick nylon guitar right here. This is pretty much my go-to guitar at the moment. I'm using it all the time. Now for the BPM, we're just gonna bump it down to something in between 125 and 130. So I might actually go with 127 to start off with. And then for the scale, I'm actually gonna be working in D minor. So before I start laying down the guitar pattern, I actually want to explain to you guys my thought process behind this pattern I'm gonna be making. So usually when I'm going for this Gunna type of vibe, you actually want to leave lots of space on the guitar. So I'm gonna have long lasting notes, and then we can just sprinkle some top notes here and there. So I'm gonna start off with two simple notes, just this D and this F. So we can do this. Like I said, we want to have long lasting notes, so we're gonna extend these all the way to here. Now we want to strum them a bit as well, and then we're actually going to use another D just up here. Now we're actually going to copy this pattern over to this one as well. The thing is though, we want to extend these notes right here so they fit together. This is going to make the guitar sound a bit smoother. Now we actually want to add some top notes as well, so we want to keep this D consistent. So I'm actually going to go all the way up to this D7, but we're going to highlight it, Alt on our keyboard, and move it slightly off grid. This is going to have a cool strum effect so they don't hit on the exact same time. And we're actually going to copy this D over to this part as well, but for this one we're going to pitch it down by 4 semitones. So it's going to hit on the A sharp and not on the D. Great, so you can hear we have lots of space in the guitar. Now we just want to sprinkle on some top notes here and there, just so we can add some more movement and some more groove to the sample. So I'm actually going to go up to this magnet tool and hit third beat. Then we can actually try and copy this A sharp over here, just shorten it a bit. And I'm going to try to do a cool triplet pattern. So you just want to copy this 3 times over, pitch this down by 1, and pitch this down to this G right here. Then you just want to highlight all of these, go down to the velocity and just turn them down like this. This gives it a nice fading type of sound. Let's try and add some movement on this part as well. So I'm actually going to try to use the same notes we're using here. So I'm going to cut this A sharp. We can cut it over here too. And lastly, we can cut it here. And this last cut right here should also be nice. So let's just pitch these two down, and we're going to keep this one on this A sharp. That's pretty much the exact vibe we're going to go for. Now, just to make it a bit more realistic, we want to adjust some of the velocity down here. So I'm just going to highlight everything right here, hit Alt R on my keyboard, and just play around a little bit with the velocity. Now that we have the guitar pattern down, we're just going to add some effects to it. So for the effects, I'm just going to start off with this roam. 22% should be nice. Some RC20 as well. Tape saturation 2. Lastly, I'm just adding some fresh air and this low cut EQ right here just to cut out the lows of the guitar. So now I'm going to show you guys a super cool trick you can do with this guitar. So I'm actually just going to consolidate this guitar first. So we're just going to highlight everything right here. Just hit Control Alt and C. This is quickly just going to consolidate everything we have right here. Since we only have the guitar, we can just press start right there. So now we have a nice waveform of the guitar. This guitar pattern is muted, but I actually want to unmute it. So just go to this tab right here and just press on it. Now the cool thing I'm going to do is just double click this and press reverse. I really like this first part right here, so I'm just gonna cut this out actually. Maybe we can keep this second part too. But for this, we just want to find a cool pattern that can fit together with the main guitar we already have. So I'm actually gonna have this copied over, but I don't really like the way it kind of stops abruptly right here. So I'm gonna show you guys some nice things you can actually do with FL21 to make this a bit better. So I'm just gonna cut this out. This down here is pretty much the exact same as this, but I want this to fade in. So I'm just gonna pick it up right there, and then we can just leave this one down like this. That's crazy. We just need to add some effects to this. We can switch between the pitched up and the pitched down version. Now let's take a listen with the reverse guitar too. Yeah, this sounds crazy together. So the reverse guitar in the background really fills out the main guitar, but I think we still have some space for some more melodic stuff. So I'm actually going to go into my Imperial one-shot kit, and I think I'm going to go into the bells and try to find a nice sounding bell we can just accent the guitar with. Let's try this high bell right here. I think we can have a cool bell pattern right here. Let's see how this sounds. Just tuck it a bit in the background. I think the bell can fit perfectly for some type of verse section, but this guitar sample is definitely begging for a flute. So I'm just gonna open up this band stereo flute in Contact, just turn the vibrato up to about 90 something, and then just type in 12 right here on the tune. I think I'm gonna play a little bit around with my keyboard and see if we can find a nice sounding flute pattern. So I'm just gonna play a little bit around with the pattern I just made, just so we can fine tune it a little bit in the piano roll. Yeah, this flute sounds nice. The triplet pattern really makes it bounce. Let's quickly add some effects to the flute. I'm just adding this pancake to pan it from left to right. The last thing I want to do to the sample is just go into my one-shot kit again, but this time I'm gonna go to my textures and just find a nice texture we can lay on top of this. So I think this kingdom texture could fit perfectly. You just want to drag it in like this, then just double click on the sample and just make sure we stretch it to time. Reset the pitch and it should be good. Turn down the volume a little bit on this one. So that's pretty much the sample. Now I'm just going to play around with the pitch and see if we can find something that sounds a bit better. So I'm going to try and pitch it down by 2 so we can have it in C minor. Yeah, this sounds crazy. I think we're going to go for this one. So it's time to kick it off with the drums. As for all the drum sounds I'm using, they're of course all coming from my No Limit drum kit. So if you want to use the same drum sounds, go check it out on my website. The link is down below. Super basic pattern. So the clap should be super standard, just like the one we did. But now it's time for the hi-hats. And this is seriously what makes the Gunna bounce go crazy. You want to find a nice sounding hi-hat. I'm going to use this hits one right here. Just drag it in. So for the hi-hats, you pretty much want to keep a lot of space between the hits. So we're going to do something super cool to start off with. Just a normal pattern right here. But this last one, we're just going to pitch it down to this A and then do a roll like this. Play around with the velocity down here. This is going to make it sound way bouncier too. So now we have this super basic hi-hat pattern. The thing I want to do now is just go to this brush tool. You can hit fourth step right here. And then we're just going to do some cool rolls here and there. If this hi-hat pattern sounds nice. So that's pretty much the pattern. Now we just want to play a little bit around with the velocity. It's just going to add a slight bit of more bounce and groove to the hi-hats. Let's go and add some perks. Just want to play around with the velocity right here. And now it sounds way better. And the hi-hats are really keeping the bounce for this one, so I don't want to overdo it. I think we should just go in with the kick and the 808 and then see if we can maybe add some more perks or open hats. So I'm just going to use this radio 808 from my drum kit. It just hits so hard every time, bro. The 808 hits crazy hard. I'm just gonna layer with the kick as well. Just on the first hits right here. Let's try and layer an open hat as well. Yeah, that's the final cherry on top for sure. Now I'm quickly just gonna arrange this beat and then I'll walk you guys through the whole thing. Alright, so here's the full beat. In the intro we just have this reverse guitar on the normal pitch with the bell one shot and the main guitar we made. Super simple intro, but it fits nicely with the bounce that comes on the hook.
Shut up, Marko. Marko.
The reverse guitar is pitched up. Then for the second part, the flute comes in. Crazy bounce on the 808 too.